Hello, my name's Jack Jennings and welcome to this video. What you're going to see is a clip from a Q&A session I was doing with the members of the Indian Classical Guitar Academy, and this was focusing on ear training from an Indian classical perspective but related to the electric guitar. So that's what we do here. It's all about Indian music but as a guitar player. If you want to become a member of the Academy, there's a special offer ending on the 30th of September. If you join with quarterly payments, then you'll get lifetime access to the Essential Techniques for Indian Guitar course. This is the best course to give you the foundations that you'll need to develop this style, and you'll get it just with one quarterly payment. You can carry on from there and join us for the live sessions and everything that you want to do. But if you just make one payment, then you'll get lifetime access to Essential Techniques. So it's a really great offer, and that's ending 30th of September. So enjoy that and get something out of this lesson here, and I'll see you next time. So if you've got the sense of sa, if you can start to strip it down to getting really clear about how it sounds when you've got a re to sa or a ga to sa. So if you're feeling this, so the position of sa and then position of re, so you can hear that re sa, and then get that sort of so clear, re sa, sa re sa. And then let's work on ga. So sa ga sa, and get both of them so familiar that it's almost impossible that you could get them wrong. I know we've only covered sort of 2 or 3 notes, but we're going to treat each little part of the scale like it's a small local collection of notes. So if we get so comfortable sa re and sa ga, and don't think about anything else for a while, just think about sa re sa ga, sa re sa ga, and coming down re sa ga sa, and let's just think about that, okay? And then we'll add, going from below, ni sa, ni sa, ni sa. Just get so comfortable with that. Ni sa, and then we'll have a da sa, and learn to hear that difference between da sa or ni sa, and you can start to sense the very different quality, because ni sa is such a small such a small feeling, whereas da sa, sa da sa, sa da sa, it's almost impossible to get it wrong once you just spend a while thinking about it. So sa ni sa or sa da sa. Okay, so just building around sa. In a moment we're going to do the same thing around pa. So we're going to touch a few of the same notes across both of them. But if you can get a really strong feeling of where is sa, where is pa, then you can hear the other notes that are around those. So rather than trying to memorize 7 individual notes, you're kind of memorizing 2 notes, and then the feeling of what it's like when you're just above or below those notes. So the differences between ni sa or da sa, and then coming down re sa or ga sa, re sa ga sa. So just before we move on to pa and do a collection around pa, let's just think about if we've got a really clear feeling of loving ni sa or da sa, then if you hear a phrase around there, it becomes a little bit more easy to understand what the phrase is. So let's say the phrase is like, and it becomes like a flash, da, and you're thinking, what was that? Like da, it sounds like really, what, you know, where did that come from? But if you can hear that first da, then da, you sort of have a feeling of that. Just da, because in my mind, it's almost like I hear da, and it reminds me of da sa, da sa. So it sort of reminds you of something else, you know. If you see, for example, if you see maybe, you know, the face of a tiger or whatever, it kind of reminds you of, you know, the body and the tail of the tiger. So you don't need to see the whole thing, but you can just, or if you just saw the tail, like imagine in like a kid's book, you see the tail and then you say, what animal is it? And they say, it's a tiger. You don't need to see the whole thing, but you catch a little glimpse of that da, and it reminds you of, oh, that sounds like da sa sa da sa sa da sa. So you've got your bearings. Sa da, you can hear it, and then you da, and then you can hit da ni da ni. So you're not getting too trapped in thinking about every tiny detail. I'm hearing a zone of da ni sa, and it happens all of a sudden da, but you kind of, you've got your bearings. So it's almost, with Indian classical music, it's so many ornamentations, it's almost like a little magic trick. There's a magic trick going on, making you feel like it's so many different things happening. But if you know the substance of it, you can see that we basically went da ni sa, but there was a lot of beautiful movement around it. So what I'm just trying to say is that if we really trust this process of just really think about ni sa ni sa ni sa and da sa, just treat it like an exercise every day. Just think about ni sa and da sa. If you get so good at that, then everything else will feel more simple. Let's try now the same process but around pa, because I really think that if we get sa and pa like so clear, and then we can hear the notes just above and below, then that's already like, you know, 6 out of 7 notes, you know. Also ga is, you know, if you just take for example sa ni sa and sa re sa, that's 6 notes, and then from pa, if we go pa ma pa and pa da pa, that's another 3 notes. So between like sa ni sa re sa and pa ma pa da pa, that's already 6 notes. The only note we haven't touched is ga. So if you know where is sa ga pa, which are for guitar players, well, that's a major chord. So if you know if you know the major chord, if you know the major chord all over the neck, that's cage system, then you sort of have a built-in location of where is sa, ga, and pa all over the neck. Then you can sort of work around that, because if you've got sa, ga, pa, then any other note is only just next door. Yeah, so everything sort of is connected like that. So let's do this little process around pa, where we will take sort of 2 notes up and 2 notes down, just so we feel like we've got a good range, and that's going to give us a lot of skill to then, you know, get better with ear training. So let's think about the characters of the notes again. So if we've got pa, pa da pa, so to me that's a very kind of like light-hearted sort of sound. Pa da pa. It's in blues, go like da 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 da, or an octave down. So it's very sort of like, you know, lazy, easygoing pa pa da da pa, and there's some rags like a rag Bhupali, which uses the pa da sa. So sa re ga pa da sa da pa ga re sa da sa, and it's, you know, lots of songs, lots of easygoing, relaxing songs, or a nursery rhyme, raag bhupali. So it's got that sort of, Panesar. It's just very light-hearted. Panesar. So that's pa. So we get the feeling of the note, and then the next one, pa, is very kind of romantic. It's kind of sentimental. It's quite kind of like very honest. Pa, and that's hamsadwani. So if we go sa re ga pa ni pa, sa re ga pa ni sa ni pa ga re sa. So ni is that's sort of very beautiful, very sort of like feminine sounding. Pa ni sa ni pa, whereas the pa is sort of like pa da, but is just much more relaxed, So that's a big quality of the character, and then we just do the notes below pa. Because the thing about this is that you'll feel always like a gravity to sa or to pa. So we want to feel that gravity sort of pulling us in, so it feels more intuitive. So pa ma pa sounds quite sort of grounded. Pa ma pa ma pa. And then the difference if we go to ga, pa ga pa, that's very warm. Anything which uses ga, pa, ga is very warm sounding. Pa, ga, pa, as opposed to pa, ma, pa. This is harder to hear, I think, but pa, ma, pa is sort of quite plain. Pa, ma, pa, ma, pa, ma, pa. Whereas pa, ga, pa, there's, to me, whenever I hear ga, it always kind of makes me smile, like pa, ga. Yeah. So that will give you so much stability, and then again, if we hear a little phrase like, then we're hearing like the ga, that's ga ma pa, or that kind of movement again. Da pa. It's not da ni pa. That would be really different. Da ni pa. That would be very, very different. So, right, and because as soon as you hear ni, it's like it wants to go to sa. So ni is wants to go to sa, whereas da is like could just sort of hangs in there and then wants to go back, so that's how I experience it. I just every note has got sort of a personality, but you just need to spend a long time comparing each one of those notes to pa, because pa or sa, because sa and pa, they almost don't have that much personality, that much color. They're just sort of steadfast. Yeah, so we want to compare the sort of colorful notes to those stable notes.
If you enjoyed this video and want to access my complete range of guitar courses and get exclusive new lessons every month, you can start a membership subscription now. The Indian Classical Guitar Academy is a unique resource that is completely unrivaled in the guitar world. The knowledge I'm able to present here is largely thanks to my gurus Roopa, Panesar and Shakir Khan. They've provided me with much of the raw material, and I've used my experience as a guitarist and teacher to develop the techniques and methods to translate this beautiful and powerful style of playing, bringing the sitar tradition to life on the electric guitar. The videos feature synchronized notation, in-depth lessons that break down every technical aspect, and practice demos that give you the perfect support to drill these skills effectively. Visit the website to find out more about the structure of the courses, special offers for membership, and massive discount bundles to look out for. You can start a free membership and get samples of new material, or dive in with a 7-day free trial and fully explore everything on offer. Full membership also gives you access to the Play Lead Guitar program, which is a powerful, systematic way to build a complete set of skills as a lead guitarist and professional musician. Even if your focus is mostly on Indian classical music, you will benefit massively from understanding more about the potential of the guitar and exploring its full capability with the super structured lessons on technique and targeted exercise to master every essential skill. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.